This is your daily horoscope for Monday, November 27th, 2023. All times are Pacific Standard Time. The main characters of the day are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. The full moon in Gemini takes place around 1 a.m. and takes place at 4 degrees of Gemini. So, if you have any mutable planets or important placements between the degrees of 0 and 10 of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you will feel the effects of this full moon the strongest. Now, this full moon also brings us back to June 18th when we had a new moon in Gemini. So you'll want to think about what intentions you set around that time. The seeds we planted then are now in bloom. When the moon is in Gemini and the sun is in Sagittarius, this brings our attention to communication, information, the dissemination of information, shifts in our perspectives. Ongoing conversations and discussions can experience a climax or turning point. Gemini is also a mutable sign that is known for its ability to see the duality in all situations. So, this full moon could have you understanding new perspectives. Maybe you are experiencing a rush of new ideas, and it is possible to land at multiple truths. Now, communication and dialogue will be a major focus, but it is not without its confusion. And that's because the ruler of this moon is Mercury. Right now, Mercury is in Sagittarius, where it is in detriment, or that means it just struggles a little bit more to communicate effectively. Now, on top of that, Mercury will be forming a square with Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is a planet that has to do with illusion, confusion, and fantasy. So while this can be great for engaging with our creativity or taking action inspired by our intuition, it can also have us focusing on a lot of false truths, reality, over idealizing a person or a situation. And we don't have all of the information in front of us that we need to make an informed decision. Now, this moon is also going to be forming a square to Saturn, which is the planet of limitations, challenges, hardships. So you may experience some sort of delays, setbacks, or feelings of rejection along the way. Whatever conversations take place or news arrives that you learn under this full moon can arrive with a reality check. Now, later on in the day, around 5:30 a.m., Mercury in Sagittarius is going to form that square with Neptune in Pisces. And this is really going to feel like a mini Mercury retrograde moment. Mercury will be going retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius later next month. And this will be the first time we have a Mercury retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius since November and December of 2018. So you'll want to start thinking back around that time period. What were your major pain points of frustrations? What were you sorting through? Because topics and conversations from around that time may also be revisited. But when Mercury forms a square with Neptune, we may have a desire to escape. And it's also super easy to get caught up in paranoid thoughts or overthinking patterns. So take the quote unquote truth with a grain of salt today because people are not communicating effectively. And this is not the best day to assume other people's intentions. Aries, this full moon is taking place in your third house of communication, information, your relationship with siblings, extended family members, as well as learning and new skills. If you've been studying something new, this can mark an important turning point in your own proficiency. If you have any issues or situations with siblings, extended family members, or even best friends that have been bubbling up, this can mark a climactic shift to that narrative or situation. And information and conversations that take place under this full moon also have the potential to shift your personal perspective and understanding of the world at large. You may also feel an added desire to communicate and self express. And while typically this would be a great full moon to do so, just try to remember that we do have that square and influence from Neptune. So you might want to wait a few days before baring your soul and wearing your heart on your sleeve. Taurus, this full moon is taking place on your financial axis, bringing a moment of culmination or transformation to your personal resources. You could be wrapping up a work project or contract. Maybe you're deciding to move on from a current role or obligation. It's also possible that you're up for a raise or a promotion, or you're really rethinking the way you interact with your finances and your budget. This can also bring an important revelation regarding your own personal value system, and you may feel called to express some of your thoughts and beliefs around this time. Gemini, the full moon is happening in your sign, and this puts the spotlight on you. This can be an incredibly tender and sensitive time as you become more aware of your own sense of self and parts of yourself that you may have been repressing. This is a wake up call to step deeper into your authenticity and to pursue your personal needs and desires. The process of advocating for yourself and stepping deeper into alignment with who you truly are can also shift some of your personal relationships. So, this can bring a moment of tension or transition with your one on one relationships, whether that's romantic, a business contract, family dynamics, or even with a best friend. If you have been working on some sort of collaborative project, it also may reach fruition around this time. Cancer, the full moon in Gemini is moving through your 12th house of subconscious healing and closure and reminds you that rest is key to maintaining your overall well being, your physical, mental, and spiritual health. This is an important time to get back on track with your daily habits, routine, and to cut out any self defeating habits or behaviors that have ultimately been keeping you further away from your goals and your dreams. Your intuition is also incredibly active under this full moon, so you'll want to pay attention to the signs and symbols as well as the synchronicities that show up in your dreams and your waking life. If you are moving through a cycle of release, surrender, or grief, honor your body and spend some time in your own energy and prioritize regulating your nervous system in ways that feel the most supportive for you. Leo, this full moon is moving through your 11th house of friendships, community, as well as hopes and dreams for the future. On one hand, a personal dream or goal may be materialized or make some exciting progress under this new moon, but you may recognize that it's going to require more commitment than you really initially had anticipated. This also brings a full moon moment to some of your friendships or communities that you're a part of, and you're really reflecting on your sense of belonging. Who and where do you feel most valued, seen, and appreciated? If there's been any unacknowledged drama in some of your close relationships, it may bubble over under this full moon. And you may also decide who and what is worthy of your true energy and effort. This full moon can also bring some drama and excitement to your romantic life. Virgo, this full moon puts your relationship with your career and public reputation under the spotlight. It's very possible that there is a lot unfolding both in your public life and with your personal relationships or family dynamics as well. This could mark a change in status regarding your career or what type of work you want to do and put out in the world. Maybe you decide something that you've been doing truly isn't aligned or fulfilling. This is also an important time for you to reflect on how far you've come and how many major life milestones you truly have already achieved. Think back to the fifth grade version of you, the middle school version of you, and the teen version of you. What would they be so impressed with that you've already achieved today? Libra, this full moon moves through your ninth house of expansion, perspective, and also excitement. Conversations and discussions that take place do have the potential to alter or shift your perspective. You may also feel like you're in the mood to take a risk, try something new, put yourself outside of your comfort zone. This is a great time to book travel you've always wanted to do, or even sign up for a course or class that has interest for you. If you have been studying and taking a course, this can also mark a moment of new proficiency for you. This is also all about sharing your thoughts, ideas, and expertise with a larger audience, whether that's through publishing, broadcasting, or speaking at a conference, or leading an important meeting at work. Your skills are on display. Scorpio, emotionally, this can be a little bit of a more tender full moon for you. As it moves through your eighth house of your psyche, your fears, and your relationship with fear, guilt, and shame. This is a powerful time to acknowledge anything that you've been avoiding from your past, to make peace with it, surrender, and extend forgiveness to yourself and even to others if that feels aligned. Financially, this can also mark a turning point with resources, shared investments, and financial support from others. Maybe you're wrapping up a big contract, or perhaps you're landing an exciting new one. Sagittarius, this full moon brings some drama to your important one-on-one relationships. So whether that is romantic, business, BFF, or with family members, you can expect for there to be some bumps in the road and changes along the way. It's also possible that someone in your life needs more of your emotional support. Maybe they're going through a major transition and asking you to show up for them when they need it most. If you're working on any contracts or collaborative projects, some of them may be wrapping up now, or perhaps you've landed a contract you've always dreamed of. Capricorn, it's time to kick that bad habit with the full moon moving through your sixth house of day to day routines, well being, and responsibility. Dedication is the best way to reach your goals, and no other sign knows that better than you. So, this full moon is pushing you and encouraging you to move in the right direction and take the tiny steps towards shifting your routine. And part of that process is protecting your own time and energy and setting boundaries along the way. This is all about establishing a healthier work life balance to lead you to a life that feels more fulfilling and aligned. Aquarius, this full moon lands in your fifth house of romance, creativity, pleasure, and joy. For singles, this can be a busier time for your dating life. Maybe you meet someone who has potential for your future. Or if you've been dating someone and you're starting to realize this isn't going anywhere, you may decide to call it quits. This can also bring creative endeavors and pursuits to a climax. Maybe you learn some exciting information regarding one of your hobbies or something that you've been doing for joy. And you may be in a more celebratory mood under this full moon, eager to connect with loved ones and friends and really reconnect with the present moment. Pisces, this full moon marks an important transition in both your personal and professional lives as it moves through your fourth house of home, foundations, family, as well as generational patterns. This is a profound healing and cathartic time to release yourself from any patterns, habits, memories from the past that are keeping you playing small or stuck. Situations regarding family dynamics or living situation can also reach an important turning point. And while all of this is going on, you may also be experiencing some sort of major life milestone, whether that's accepting a raise at work, getting engaged, or making progress on a major personal goal. As always, I hope your daily horoscope has offered you some clarity and guidance throughout your day. And if you're curious to learn more about astrology, you can pick up my first book, Seasons of the Zodiac, Love, Magic, and Manifestation throughout the astrological year. Thanks so much and see you tomorrow.